ABC Weather Lab. Here's Rob's forecast.
Welcome back. Well, it looks like we're going to finish off the week on a fine note with lots of sunshine, a nice tropical breeze, humidity inching upward, and this weekend, perhaps a few showers, but don't get too excited yet. We're not looking at that much rain at all. We'll talk more about that coming up in just a bit. First off, a lot going on across the northern portion of the U.S. We have a big thunderstorm cluster exploding across Nebraska, but close to home, what we're interested in and what's going to be the dominant weather feature across the Gulf Coast is this upper level low that's eventually going to be drifting eastward and is going to draw plenty of tropical moisture toward Florida. But some of that is going to come this way for the weekend, but not much. Then after that, all the wet stuff will be well east of us. You can see this big blow up, this supercell thunderstorm across Nebraska this evening. Severe thunderstorm warnings, severe thunderstorm watch up here as well. So some dynamic weather in the high plains this evening. Meanwhile, that air across our part of the world very dry with that. Here's the upper level low, and we have this dry air on the northern fringe of it. As it moves eastward, again, we think some of that moisture will be moving northward out of the Gulf of Mexico. And generally, if you look at the satellite imagery, can't even find a cloud across the region. Fair skies. Go outside, take a look at Jupiter. We're at its close. We are at the closest point to Jupiter right now, and with a good pair of binoculars or a telescope, you can see at least 3 or 4 moons out there on any given night. So that's something to look at. Meanwhile, in the tropics, and this is the only time I'm spending on this, the first tropical depression of the Pacific season has developed. It's tropical depression number 1. It's poorly organized, and it's not going to last more than a couple of days. We'll move out to sea, but kind of a hint that here we are in tropical season. We dust off the tropical tracker here, and again, in the Pacific, the hurricane season here starts May 15th. So this is pretty much on cue, being May 10th here locally. So overnight tonight, as we look at our futurecast, a quiet night. Tomorrow, we're going to see a few more clouds, but it's going to stay dry. We go into Friday night, into Saturday morning. Here come more clouds and maybe a little moisture. The RPM model has been backing off on rain chances, but I'm going to still maintain about a 20-30% chance for Saturday. And then about a 20% chance for Sunday, although that deeper tropical moisture will be moving a little bit to the west of us. And then we're going to resume a hot pattern as high pressure banks in a little bit from the east going into early next week. So temperatures will be limited a little bit this weekend. As for rainfall, this will tell the story. Don't expect much, maybe 1/10 of an inch of rain, and that's generous. This is the European model. But notice all the moisture in the eastern and east central Gulf toward Florida as well. Some pretty heavy rainfall over the next 9 to 10 days over there, but that is pretty good news because this area has been parched in a drought situation. South Florida going into Georgia as well. Locally, I thought we'd see more yellow, but not a whole lot going on. We're a little drier than normal in portions of Vermilion and Cameron Parish out in the marsh. I don't know how they measure that, but we will be seeing more yellow if we don't see more significant rain in the future. And then back to the west, very parched here, extreme to exceptional drought across the Texas-Oklahoma panhandle, and no hope for rain anytime soon over there. So overall here, temperatures tonight dropping down into the mid-60s. Tomorrow we'll be back into the upper 80s. A little bit of a heat index. We'll see that heat index pushing into the lower 90s tomorrow. Tomorrow night, a little bit milder yet, closer to 70 for your low. And then for Saturday, we'll limit our daytime highs a little bit with at least a slight chance of a shower or thunder shower. Bonus for tomorrow, nice breeze out of the south tomorrow afternoon. Nice tropical breeze. That's the way you want to start your Friday and finish the week for sure. So another pleasant evening, fair skies, some patchy fog later on tonight. 66 your low, 89 the high tomorrow. So we'll keep it on the cooler side of 90 if there is such a thing indeed. And that humidity inching upward as well. Going into the weekend, there's your rain chance. And there's the frog coming on in. The Mother's Day looks pretty good as well. Temperatures in the mid to upper 80s this weekend, but pushing back into the lower 90s next week. And lots of 90s in that 10-day forecast beyond the weekend. And I would say there's probably 10 more 10-day forecasts
just like
down
that.
The road as we go deeper.
Maybe a little more rain here and there.
Yeah, we can only hope.
All right, thanks.